Alright, a wonderful good morning everybody and welcome back to my channel. Got Shadow here with Blue Moon again. Jumping back over from Pioneer to Modern. And I just wanted to test, before we go back to Grixis, I wanted to test out being like a half combo deck right now with Aria Flame here next to Blood Moon and Keranos, because I think it supports the game plan pretty neatly. It also is a great out against Death Shadow decks, which frequently can be a problem, especially with Veil of Summer in all the John Death Shadow lists. So I think this might actually be pretty neat. And then in the sideboard, I also added 3 Spreading Seas just to, well, actually now we have a little bit too much. I'm gonna get rid of the Damping Spheres and put Spell Skies in. Just so we also cantrip, because frequently we have like a Damping Sphere on the battlefield, and while that's good, we can't further commit to the board in the Blood Moons, and sometimes we just get blown up by like Oblivion Zone or whatever without being able to respond to that. And therefore I just want to get rid of the green sources like Veil of Summer, etc. early on if we have the chance, so that we can actually counter stuff better. Although of course Veil of Summer also is a foil to Spreading Seas, but with that obnoxious card we can't have everything. We're just working with the tools that we have at our disposal. Also, some of you might realize here the resolution of my current screen is way worse than what I uploaded yesterday, but here the recording device is actually working neatly, so here as well we only have the best, or the tools that we're working with. Alright, I think we can keep. The Mystic Sanctuaries are online. We also have a decent Blood Moon hand. We might be able to just hold our opponent off for a long enough time to get into our big stuff. Let's see if I can even still play one. Alright, Stomping Ground could be anything. Another land here is pretty bad for us. And I think we're only playing 22, right? Yeah, we're only playing 22 lands here. So it could be Dredge, which I think would have a reasonable chance of going turn 1, tapped Stomping Ground, and then starting with like Cathartic Reunion on turn 2. But could be a variety of decks, of course. Yeah. Alright, it's Dredge. So Haggle. I think we're gonna remand here. He might not have a second red source. And I'm almost certain, my goodness, we're starting off great again. Yeah, exactly what we thought would happen here. Alright, so a Blood Moon off the top would just be amazing. But this is not okay. So next turn we're gonna have, and this is sure. So our opponent's somewhat slow. Aria Flame. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the Remand back on top, then go with Aria Flame and Remand next turn, and then put the another Haggle. put Cryptic Command back on top, so that we might be able to churn through enough of our cards. The only problem that we really have is so Shriekhorn is annoying, and apparently his best plays here is just cycling with the Life from the Loam. Or not. And this looks like another Cathartic Reunion, which is way worse. Alright. Okay. So, Mystic Sanctuary, putting that one back on top, then playing Aria Flame, putting our opponent to 31, but now it's only 7 or 8 spells respectively until we can kill our opponent. And with 10 spells we deal 55 damage, so that should be good at the very least. And if we like draw a Snapcaster Mage, and maybe evade like 1 or 2 Creeping Chills. Alright, I think I'm gonna Remand here, just because I don't want to give him additional mana for the Forgotten Caves. So Aria Flame also, one of the other reasons I put in Aria Flame is that it actually is a good card against Planeswalkers, and therefore so we need to stay above like probably 10 life or something to not just get blown out by Alright. Our opponent's getting aggressive here. 2 Creeping Chills, and now we're at 10. Alright. Now 9, and now we are in trouble here. Alright. So 32. Let's see. So if we were to put the Mystic Sanctuary back into our hand, which we could definitely do, of course, the next turn we would not be able to so our opponent should have lands in hand, right? This doesn't really make a difference. Yeah, take the lands, be happy. We need to be really careful. 9 damage. There's no I have 3, I think, right? Yeah, there are 3 Anger of the Gods in our sideboard. So if I just go Cryptic, otherwise it's 7, and we die to another Cathartic Reunion. Let's hope for a Snapcaster. I think if we draw a Snapcaster, then we do have a chance. So I can't bounce the Mystic Sanctuary because otherwise, like, I can't draw the Cryptic Command next turn, and then we're just dead. There's a Snapcaster. That's good. So we can also bounce the Snapcaster, or I can at least try it. He does have 1 in hand. We're dead here, I think. least almost dead. Has a discard 2. Kyranos, does that help in any way or fashion? Probably not right now. Like, I would love to play him, but I don't see how we are gonna do that and survive. So bouncing the Snapcaster also doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I don't see any conflict rates. Why don't I see any conflict rates? Like if he hits us with the last Creeping Chill, which he's not. Alright, he's being a little cautious here. We could also. That's actually very interesting. We have another win condition in Archmage's Charm. We could also make our opponent draw 2 cards. But we're still way off of that. But then I think I'm actually gonna bounce the Snapcaster here again. Although they could also have. Now they're playing the 1 mana Dredge card as well, so tap draw. I said save targets, right? Save a target, man. Alright, another snap. I think our opponent has a conflict rate in hand and is figuring out here how to actually deal 9 damage. And he should be able to if he has another Life from the Loam in hand. Yeah, we're still like 4 spells away from actually winning this. Oh, we could also have the last Creeping Chill. Yeah, here was the Dark Blast. That's why I didn't do it. Alright. So we're gonna have a look here. 25. Let's see. 4, 5, 6, 7. Should be 22, right? So if we draw a bolt, we don't have a whole lot in our graveyard is the problem. Now let's see. If he dredges for 5 here, which he did, and there's a Creeping Chill, alright. Fuck, he does have 1 land too many. How can we manage 4 spells here and a Lightning Bolt? Is that even possible? If we make him draw 4 more, oh man, that's so narrow. That is so close. Alright, there's a bolt. Oh man. Alright. So if we go bolt, snap, bolt. we put him down, but then we only have 1 mana left, so that's not good as well. So we have to go with Archmage's Charm again and hope that we draw another bolt, which is entirely possible. Come on! No! Oh man, we're 1 mana short. Close, 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 close. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Just 1 mana short here. Otherwise I could have just remanded, of course, not for the... Oh, that was so close. Well, that was pretty cool. Like, we almost won in 2 different ways here. And I love that. Alright. Angers as well. So Keranos is gonna go out. Oops, out. Aria Flame actually is pretty good. Still, that goes. Oh yeah, actually a Burst Lightning would have also been good enough. Like, we had 5 outs there, and an opt. Oh my goodness, we had so many outs. Deprive, not a thing here. Remand. I just want to have 1 Blood Moon, I think. This should be good as well. Probably 1 Aria Flame as well. Right, yeah. Oh, that was so close. So many cards that we could have drawn. Alright. Yeah, this is probably not good enough. Mulligan. Alright, I think I just lost connection to the internet. I'll be right back. Alright, we're back. Had some issues here. I'm going to keep this. It's not perfect, but we might be able to hold our opponent off for a bit. So, probably going to ditch 1 Spell Snare, because after the first counter of, say, Life from the Loam or Cathedral Reunion, it just becomes drastically worse. Also, at that point, we do have Remount. Now, we're trying to both get a second red source and find some of our sideboard cards, of which we have plenty. So this either means that he doesn't have... I need to keep lands. Alright, second red source is available. So, yeah. And Aria Flame there being basically the only way we have of winning against Dredge game 1, and it almost worked out, so pretty happy with that. So now that our opponents are actually not playing, I'm gonna remand here because he generally doesn't want to have that in hand. I'm gonna hide this second red source here so that he doesn't play around it, and then probably just gonna counter the life from below to slow him down until we potentially find anything of use or value. Right now, so we had several opportunities here to either find Spreading Seas, Blood Moon, anything actually. Yeah, we can't do anything against that. So, Gnaw the Bone. Interesting. Alright, we're doing the same thing here, just returning it to his hand. Could of course also counter, but he should be at least light on lands at some point. Interesting that he is not inclined here. So we could of course go with the Spell Snare again, but I want to have the opt to actually find some solutions to our problems. Yes, thank you. But in terms of speed, we already slowed our opponent down significantly. If we find, like, he doesn't have any more land drops, so if we find a Spreading Seas here and we can get rid of his Stomping Ground, or a Blood Moon alternatively, of course, that would just be amazing. At this point, we could also start bouncing our Snapcaster, but I want to deal a little bit of damage at least. Yeah. So off of that plan. Alright. Anger's probably something that we still need to keep. Don't think there's a whole lot that I want to counter or take over, and therefore just the chance of drawing a Relic, Spreading Seas, and or a Blood Moon here. Come on, man. Well, Snapcaster, while being good, I'm still gonna put it to the bottom here. Just trying to find a freaking sideboard card, which we found. Don't think there's a difference here in attacking or not attacking, but potentially, yeah, our opponent can dredge because he's looking for green sources. So that is pretty dope. But now he has Mana Fall on the ground. I'll stick with you. Alright. But that's alright. That is alright. There's a Spells Guide. I guess they're still playing the one thing there, so I'm not going to do anything, just stay back. He can deal a little bit of damage if he wants to. Oh, actually gonna attack if he wants to, yeah. Dredging here. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense, so I don't mind it being in the graveyard. Never mind, apparently it makes sense. I just didn't know. could counter this, but what's the worst thing that could happen? I'm just gonna draw 2 here. Or remand, whatever this is. Since we have a Spell's Guide on the battlefield here, and alright, there's a Blood Moon, which is also pretty good. Alright, so do we have mana for everything here? Can we go Blood Moon 1, 2, 3, then also Anger, and still have Remand up? Yeah, we can. We have enough blue sources here, and then he should be able to cast anything anymore. So, and Spell's Guide also protects our Blood Moon. So I'm good with that. Sure, now we still need to find a win condition. But we still have 1 Aria Flame. In our deck. And we can't get killed by Creeping Chills. The only card that really can kill us is either Black Ghast off of like just a land. Alright, that's it. Now our opponent doesn't have a whole lot anymore to go about in terms of dredging, and he can't play anything anymore. And Conflagrate isn't good because we can redirect it to Spell's Guide. But we definitely still need to draw anything, something. Alright, Mage's Charm might be helpful. We shall see. Oh, we're already down to 8 minutes. That is not good. Against Dredge. Long games here. Alright. I'm just doing this because I shit. I missed the end step there. I think now our opponent is just timing us here. Oh yeah, no, I didn't take so long, of course. I had like a 4 or 5 or 6 minute break due to internet connections. Yeah, this is gonna be close. Like, if this isn't close, then the next game definitely is gonna be close. We still have 3 Snapcasters, no Keranos, and an Aria Flame. If we should were to draw an Aria Flame, I think we could easily finish this. Seconds here. Da-dum. Come on, opponent. No Snapcaster and no freaking Aria Flame. Where art thou, friends? Where art thou? Come on. I think we need to crack soon. We need to win in 2 minutes, otherwise, like if we go below 5 minutes for the last game, I think it's gonna be really difficult to win. And we need to go like all in. Alright, now I'm just gonna crack. Oh, come on. Just give me a freaking Snapcaster. This can't be so hard. Like, we got 4 cards in our last 15 that we can hit to just win the game here. I wanted to keep priority. Did I? No. Okay. There is a Snapcaster. Alright. Now it's over. Hopefully. I'm gonna keep the lightning bolt back just in case. Yeah, our opponent just taking time off the clock here. So we attack, then bounce the Snapcaster with our Cryptic, and then go Snap Bolt, and then we have 6 minutes left. Lol. Never mind. Now it takes us 2 more turns. Like, I don't even dare having a look at his exiled cards. Like, there's no doubt that we win this, it's just about the timing here. Little motherfucker. So he could be hitting a Narcomoeba, I guess. Alright, we're above 5 minutes, but not a whole lot. Alright, I'm gonna take the spell guides out because that's more of a defensive measure. Spreading seas because they come down early, and then another Aria flame, so we just like have a window to win this. Spellslinger, of course, on the draw a little better, but can also clog our hand. Might be. Oh, it's fine. 60 cards, let's go. Alright. So playing the relic on turn 1 is actually quite risky. We haven't seen any discard magic. And with him having a fetch land, I think I'm just gonna not play the relic here on turn 1. Don't want to run into an abrupt decay or something similar. Haggle. Alright, Thug. And Narcomoeba. And Creeping Chill. Well, that already sucks. And there is the abrupt decay that I was talking about. So I'm going to take the 1 damage here. If he doesn't play anything, that's fine, but I assume that he will. We probably have to fetch up here as well, just to facilitate the Archmage's Charm. So our opponent could of course have more haggles. He could also have an abrupt decay here. No, that's not good for us. Could have, of course, counter stuff there, but that's also not too great. So I'm gonna opt here in order to find a land source, hopefully. And then next turn we can go with Aria Flame, but we might wait one more turn after that, just until we have 4 lands to also have Spell Snare up. So if we remand this, then he has one more haggle, right? Or is it just gone? No. I think this is another haggle here. But even so, it's more important to me to get to full mana here. If we were to draw one of our land hate cards, that would also be great. Now he's waiting with the haggle here. Alright, need to wait one more turn. Hopefully get around with the Archmage Charm here. Could of course conflagrate. Oh man. So there's not a whole lot that we're going to counter here anyway. I just want to have another land drop. Then we have Spell Snare. Oh, come on. This is, of course, pretty fucked up now. We're always fighting on multiple fronts. Either we're not getting land drops, or we're just getting land drops. It's disgusting. Hopefully this is just going to be a Merchant of the Veil. And nothing else coming. Oh man, this is really getting annoying. In multiple ways. No, oh fuck. Yeah, I missed that one. And now we can discard again. So that was just really bad. Creeping Chill, yes. So he's just gonna haggle again here for 3 mana, which also sucks. I could have done that last turn. Never mind. Alright. Still being somewhat lucky here. Okay, Bloodghast are already really problematic here for us. So what am I gonna do? Probably go with a Lightning Bolt here. Then just hoping that our opponent cannot, like we have to win at some point. We're just gonna go with Aria Flame here, and then try to go from there. He might also have like an answer in hand to Aria Flame, but I can't play around a decay here right now, whatever. Alright, so here comes Nakamiba plus Price Dumbledrum, which is not the worst yet. Alright. So we have a lightning bolt on top. And we need to find something in red. Yeah, you use life from a loam, and that's gonna be difficult again. So we're gonna tab draw because we have to, basically. And we need to find another cryptic command, at least one. And then after that we can actually chain enough spells, I think. Red Source would also be alright. Blood Moon wouldn't do it. I was thinking about like triggering the Blood Gas here, but I don't see a reason why you would want to do that. Unless, of course, you're afraid of something that... Yeah, best case scenario here would probably be Relic into Red Source. Then we would have everything. And then I think we would also easily win. And while that is not unlikely, probably also not likely. Alright, he's already going with the Conflagrate here. Which means... and there is not a whole lot that we can do. We have a couple of outs, but it's looking pretty grim now. Because if he goes for the 6 here... Okay, not going for 6. And only 2 blood ghasts in the bin. Huh. That's not good enough. So... Red Source. Oh man. Yeah. Let's see what we would have drawn. I think... Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay. That was kind of unfortunate. But I think if our draws line up a little better in both games 3 and 1, we easily win there. And I have to admit that reminding that Merchant of the Veil probably killed us. As that was his only way of actually dredging stuff. So I should have just let that resolve. Although the turn after, like, we could kill it, and the turn after he would have started dredging anyway, so... I don't know. But I feel like with 3 relics and 3 angers, there's definitely enough weapons, or yeah, enough weapons against Dredge in general. Don't know what's going on here with all the artworks. Alright, Pete. Someone else playing Mystic Sanctuary. I'm going with a snow-covered island here. Well, that's Howling Mine. Alright, so apparently we're playing one turn too late. Miracles, or turns, whatever you want to call it. And we're already slightly so I think I'm just gonna discard the lightning bolt. It's not about drawing spells here, it's just about So this could be a Courser or a Crewfix thing. Magmatic Sinkhole doesn't do a whole lot. Hello. Thank you. I think Sinkhole is probably better than the Lightning Bolt, just because they're playing Jace as one of their win conditions. Alright, that's good. Then we can actually get rid of a couple of our cards. I'm inclined to also just remand here, because the remands are pretty much stuck for the most time. Fuck. Something is definitely not correct here. And we need to make land drops on the one hand, and we also need to find the Blood Moon so that he can't do anything anymore. Yes, yes, thank you. Great. So this island I'm not gonna cast anything, but I like all the cards that we have in hand. I don't want to give them up, and I think that if he does have some sort of time warp here, that we should still be able to remand it. Alright. Snapcaster gone. So I think it's not yet time for the Blood Moon here. Actually, might never be time for the Blood Moon to be played, because we need our blue mana to counter stuff. Sinkhole. So we notice we do have a spell snare on top. We do have 2 counters up, which is also pretty alright. But the turn stack is definitely disrupting the way we're playing, like our usual play patterns. Since my hands or my fingers are always itching to just go end of turn on Major Charm, draw 2 cards. But instead we're gonna go with a Snapcaster here. My goodness. So our wind conditions are fleeting to a certain degree, but our opponent should also have like a lot of clunky spells in hand. And by now I'm just gonna get rid of Magmatic Sinkhole here. By the end of turn I'm going to try to bounce something so that he has to discard more, and so that we get rid of at least a couple of our spells. Narset, nope. Really can't allow that. He might have, of course, double counterspell here, or double remand. That might be a Jace. Genre. Yeah, as I said, like our opponent probably has a lot of clunky spells in hand. And now it's time for him to discard. Savor the moment means that he's also playing the Fires of Invention list. So what happens here if we go with Keranos? Does that make any sense? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 would have a remand up, but I think that's not good enough. Like our opponent definitely has enough time warps, etc., and he just needs 1 counter spell for us to lose here. Problem is that we just don't get better from our sideboard. Like there's maybe relics that we could bring in, but other than that, there's just not a whole lot that's good. And our opponent definitely has a problem here. Like, he needs to resolve his stuff in order to win. And we have a hand packed with counterspells. On the other hand, though, if we just slip once, then we just won't be able to resolve anything anymore for the rest of the game. Alright, Fires of Invention. We can't let that resolve. So I'm gonna go Counterspell here. And we do have 2 counterspells to back it up, and therefore I'm fine with that. Another Fires of Invention. Alright, so what happens here? Counter and probably just bounce a spell, right? You draw 2 cards. Don't have a land though. We definitely want to make a land roll. Alright, I'm just gonna counter draw. Alright. Have all land ropes. Now I'm gonna go. No, I'm just gonna go with the Rematch here. Reason being that I would just tap out too much if I did that. He must be playing Miracles though, right? I don't think this makes sense if it is non-Miracles. Alright, there's Jace, which I'm gonna go counter draw here. And then, I mean, we could of course also just kill it with a Magmatic Sinkhole. The problem I see there is if he sets up a Miracle here, we still can't win. No, we can, but he might have Force of Negation, so I'm not gonna risk it. We're gonna have a look here. Don't want to show him Keranos because I want to have a look at what we're doing with our sideboard first. Oh my goodness. Hello. All right. So let's see. Keranos gone, Blood Moon out. Magmatic Sinkhole, I'm not sure. I'm gonna put it out as well. So relics and nothing, we're just gonna go with rejections here, because then we have more chances of catching a turn 2 holding mine, and I think the rest is just not or so you might be bringing in like Sting in the Eyes or whatever, stuff like that, which we definitely would have problems with since we can't actually bounce it anymore. So then we would have to rely heavily on so I'm going to start losing bolts here in this turn, just in case we're getting into a situation where, I mean, our opponent might have changed the whole strategy and have a transformational sideboard or something like that. Just making sure to manage the cards here appropriately. Also, I'm not gonna go and play an aggressive Snapcaster just yet. Fires of Invention with a backup. Ooh, that's a problem. So less likely for him to try to counter our Remand if we just put it back into his hands. But this is probably Mystical Dispute, I would assume. Dispel, well, that wouldn't have made a difference anyway. Oh. So, no more than 2 spells each turn. We shall see. We have to bounce it at some point, but right now I don't see how that might be of any use. And we don't know. Like, he could also have, like... Never mind. Right, Chandra is annoying, but not really problematic just yet. We can snap Bolt and do something against her. might get remanded here. Yeah, I think our opponent actually self-regulated in a meaningful way and took out all the draw spells, for the most part at least. I'm gonna counter this. Counter. Extortion. Sure. That's not too bad yet, because, I mean, we're not completely offline here, and our opponent couldn't utilize it for the most part. So probably putting Savior at the moment back on top, right? Yeah. Just balancing the take of Crewfix. Well, yeah, I'm gonna take that. Definitely gonna take that. And another extortion. Interesting. So he's hoping to find something else. Like in terms of counter magic. If that's not gonna work though, then we're firmly ahead, I think. So he needs to find a counter spell with the Savior at the moment here. I'm not sure what I want to do here. The Fires of Invention are good, but not extremely good. So I think I'm just going to counter draw. Hope that he didn't draw. And doesn't draw a good spell here. I can't cast anything anymore anyway, so never mind. Alright, we need to find more counter magic. Yeah, I think this is good because we have multiple ways of drawing additional cards. So we're gonna put on top probably the Archmage's Charm. Yes. Then we're gonna draw a card with this one. Have Archmage's Charm up. And then I'm just, well, Remand's still good, so and this time you must have a counterspell. So he's not generating additional value just yet, so I'm just gonna go. Two turns though, that's pretty harsh. Wow, there is our ceremonious rejection, so strong. So Jace, Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, I mean, certainly the right play here, but we still had a bolt to get rid of the Jace and a potential win condition here. Oh, damn it. Ah, that sucks. Now we definitely have a problem. Still needs to have found... Like, he can't even play anything anymore. Well, that's actually quite fun. So even if he has Time Warp here, then he can't play it. Oh, we have an Aria Flame. Alright, let's start off by... attacking the Jace. Because then we can go Aria Flame. Okay. Burst Lightning him. Go kill the Jace. Therefore, we're not wasting, or close to not wasting anything. So he must have another Time Warp effect in hand, though. And he does. Okay. Mikoko, that's pretty rough here. Can we do anything? No. I'm not sure if we are gonna get another turn here. I would say it's unlikely. Three save on the moments. Alright, we're gonna try to counter this. It's probably gonna be... Are we gonna try to counter this, though? No, I don't actually think so. And the reason being that we can kill the Narset with our Aria Flame here. And that he cannot counter whatever we do because of the... wait. Whoops. I need to turn off auto yields. Turn off auto yields. Oh my goodness. How do I turn off? Hopefully I turn off the auto yields here. Please don't say... Yeah, alright, good. Yeah, alright, this one time we actually have a problem here. Oh, that was our first roll. Oh, that's actually pleasant. So I think I need an upkeep stop here, because he could in response always go, alright, on this way. Alright, so Archmage Charm on top, yes. And now I think we regained our posture here. We can get the Archmage Charm off the top. And our opponent being limited by Fires of Invention here really fucks him over time and time again. Like, it makes counter wars so much worse for him. Because he can only counter one time. Like, as long as we have more than 2 counters in hand, there's close to nothing that can happen. Also, our Fires of Invention must only be triggered like 2 more times. So I'm gonna go with the Archmage Charm here, just so that our opponent thinks that we're actually looking for counters. And this should do it, I think. Like, next spell of us being played is just lethal. We put Archmage Charm on top. We do have Remand up as well. I should have probably just also remanded the thing there. So I'm gonna let this resolve, because I don't really mind. The only problematic card that I see is another Time Warp effect and or a Cryptic Command bouncing our Aria Flame. And he also can't have us. Alright, we're drawing a card. Yeah, I mean, now he knows that we have a counter. Alright. So that should do it. Because he just can't do anything anymore. Great, so we used his Fires of Invention against him. And our opponent realized his defeat and just gave up. Alright, good. Actually, 2 great games here up until now. Not due to our opponents, but due to us actually fighting the good fight here. I'm gonna take a quick break and shower, and I'm gonna be back with round number 3. Alright, we're already back here for round number 3. Still have to put some work in to actually get this league going. So in comparison to Grixis, I do like that as a Blue Moon player you just have fewer ways of being attacked by your opponent in comparison to Grixis. The flip side of the coin is, though, that you also have fewer ways of attacking your opponent. Like, yes. Being on the play here, we do have Archmage Charm coming up, and we do have Deprive for the very early turns, so maybe it's good enough. Although I don't necessarily like the hand. Also, Magmatic Sinkhole is nothing that we can play anytime soon. But we shall see. Yeah, against Burn, this is probably one of the worst hands we could imagine. So against Burn, we only have the Spell Skites. I'm going to try to just take the Monastery Swiftspear next turn. Excuse me. And unless there's an Eidolon common, which it is not, yeah, I'm not going to do anything about this. We're taking a lot of damage, but we're also not taking any damage from our... Oh. So I'm gonna leave him the opportunity here to trigger a Monastery Swiftspear, so that if he draws another creature here, we actually have a good blocker. Well, Blood Moon actually doesn't do anything against us. So then it's also not a real burn egg, right? More Red Moon or something. Of course, we do have a couple of dead cards now in our deck. And he doesn't have access to white anymore. So I'm not sure. Don't think that we should do anything here. Ooh, Aria Flame. Probably something for the later turns here. We have 2 counter spells. Unless... Yeah, definitely not a Blood Moon type of guy here. Lava Spike. Sure. I mean, it's possible that our opponent does have 2 instants here, but I, like, from my gut feeling, he might be holding Is it worth it to play Aria Flame here? We're dealing 3 a turn, but it's probably still worth it, right? Like, he can get rid of it, and we're definitely countering in between. I'm leaving the Swiftspear here behind just because we're a little vulnerable. You know what I mean? Alright, our opponent just gave up, I think. Or it's just a major lag. Alright. So Blood Moons are gonna go out. I want to have Spell Skites. He's also gonna take out his Blood Moons, of course. Therefore, I think I'm good with our Magmatic Sinkholes. Like, Sinkholes are good against, say, an Eidolon, but it's more of a late game card, so I think just one Spreading Seas here, maybe we can just get rid of a White Source. That would already be pretty good. And we still have Aria. I'm really happy with Aria Flame, I really have to say. Can't say anything against it. But I'm not gonna keep this hand. There's a Lightning Bolt in here. There's also some stuff to do, but not really a red source. If we find a red source here early, then I think the hand's alright. Come on, Golden Guide. Shoot us that. Yes. Alright, now it's already getting difficult here. 3 creatures is problematic. Alright, we're drawing another Lightning Bolt, so that's good. I'm probably gonna Lightning Bolt the Monastery Swiftspear here and just go with a tapped Sanctuary. Reason being that overall it's no way. Lol. That's so weird. Like, our opponent's playing so many weird spells. But it's alright. And didn't take the Lightning Bolt out of our graveyard. Amazing. Amazing, friend. That was so good in every single way. Insane. Alright, we're at 9 now. We can pick up the Goblin Guide, which I think also makes sense during his turn. Actually, this is somewhat better. Just going with the Spells Guide here, and then Burst Lightning the Goblin Guide in his turn. Of course, doesn't leave us a blue source to stop any damage. Why would you be boarding Smash to Smithereens against us? Just tell me these things, man. Like, nobody's playing Spells Guide. You can tell me that's like the common denominator here. Alright. So there's another Snapcaster, but we're not necessarily ahead here. Rift Bolt in the Exile Zone. And a Core Firewalker, which I don't think does anything, but we're just going to play the Snap. And then we're going to play the Aria Flame. Yeah. Yep. Then we're gonna counter the Rift Bolts. Yes, always yield. And I would also like to save. Okay. Never mind then. Let's see, he's probably gonna target our Snapcaster, I would assume. He's not. Well, that makes things even more interesting. Do I want to bounce the Mystic Sanctuary? Probably yes. Oh my goodness. Oh. Island definitely is a problem. Like, really. Really big problem. Alright, we're gonna block this. Doesn't make me happy. Need to play the Mystic Sanctuary here, just so that we don't go back to 3. Alright. And that's important. We're probably staying... Alright. It's not doing anything. Interesting. One positive thing is that, in theory, we could also just win on the stack. Not with an island play, of course, but... So I think I need to go... Snap Bolt here. Go down to 2. And then remand the School of the Critics. But then he can recast it for 1, right? Yeah. Alright. Cool. I can do that anyway, so... I think I'm gonna remand here. Which, of course, triggers the Spectacle ability. Alright. Yeah, nowhere yet. Okay, our opponent somehow missed that. And for us, could we have 1 here? I think we actually could have. Oh, we actually are. That is insane. All right. GG's. Good for us. Off to round number 3, F4. Yeah, I'm really having fun with Aria Flame here. So I'll keep that. The cards from Grixis I would want to have, I would like to replace these 4 with Discard Magic. Remons are sometimes also pretty weak, but in this show we can't really play Logic Knot. And here's it's alright. I would like to have like Dreadboard, Terminate, whatever instead of Magmatic Sinkhole, and I would like to have Kolaghan's commands. With the rest of the shell, I'm actually quite, and of course a couple of sideboard options. The rest of the shell is quite decent also for Grixis purposes, so next thing we might be trying to go Blood Moon Grixis. Alright, so we do have a Blood Moon up, just need to find a red source and keep our opponent off of Tron up until then, and probably also off of an Oblivion Stone. That's not good. Like, if our opponent is not casting anything here, that might mean that he's actually having natural Tron. And that would, of course, just be the worst case scenario. Okay. There's Oblivion Stone, which is also very annoying. And there's a red source. Alright, since I didn't cast the Archmage's Charm there, I wanted to keep it up in case we need to draw additional cards. So I'm just going to do it this turn, and then go with the Blood Moon. We can take that relic from him. Sure. Aria Flame as well. So on the plus side, we do have rejections, we do have spreading seas, we have quite a bit here to fight back. On the minus, there are certain 1, 2, 3, 5. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Aria Flame and then keep up Remonts, just in case there's a Wunkel engine coming. Should still be worth it, right? It's only a couple of spells to get those 10 counters. And we will have Remand with Remand backup, so. A forest. Well, hopefully this is not a world breaker. I mean, forest makes sense in any way, but And we're probably just playing the Snapcaster here, because he's not doing anything. And this also means there's no Wonkel engine, so probably just a Karn. And he also basically has to take. Alright. Now we find a Wonkel engine. That's annoying. So we really need to find something off the top. We're putting him down to 13. I think with a single cryptic command we should be getting there. Another Snapcaster Mage might also do the job. The Wonkel engine in the long term cannot compete with Aria Flame, so I'm good with that. Also, Karana is still, like, we're still dealing more damage if he attacks than he gains back in life. And we only need to find like a lightning bolt or something. We're pretty good here. Just can't die before anything happens. Yeah, I don't care. So our opponent's desperately trying to find lands. I would assume. But all of this costs time and mana. Are we already there? Like, we're putting them down to 13, then 9. Yeah, I think we should be able to kill him here, right? Because next time it's like 5. No, it's 1 damage short. We could, of course, just go with Archmage's Charm here. Like drawing another card. But I want to see what our opponent does first, because like after our turn we should be good anyway, and we're still at 7 life, so we have another crack at it if things go really south. There should be a Karn coming, I assume. All this dust. Yeah, that can't happen. Alright, so if we hit any non-land card off the top, I think we should be good here. Cool, and this is actually not good enough. Like, he could have a walking ballista, right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for 4. We shall see. If he cracks the relic, then all is good anyway. I think I'm gonna block here. Like, there's probably not going to be another All Is Dust coming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Karanos is online. How awesome is that, please? We can kill a life linker, that's why I'm doing this, because we could of course also just... Yeah... Okay... Oh my goodness, this is unlucky as fuck. He goes down... Fuck. Alright, so we're killing the life linker here. Which will also, well... Oh, come on, man, fuck. I want to target that one. Damn it. Yeah. That was quite unlucky. Now it's of course over. And that's a card that we would have needed. Like off the top, then everything would have been good. Oh man, that's so unfortunate. Yeah, we can't do anything against that Sanctum. 4, 6, 7, 8. Walking Ballista, alright. My goodness, was that unlucky. So Speltsnare is gonna go out. Remonts are still alright. Keranos. Medic Sinkhole doesn't do enough. I think I'm just gonna get rid of the burst. Well, we might change things up for a third game, but here I just want to trigger the Aria of Flame as reliably as possible. Yeah, and of course, we had lethal beforehand if I had realized that Keranos was actually going to be active if I just played the Snapcaster Mage. But for me, it's just an enchantment. Like, I never activated it in this shell. That's why I'm not, like, I didn't even think about it. So we're going to keep, we have a pretty good hand. So it's actually not the cards. I fucked that up last game. That would have been, of course, better. Like, we would have just dealt 6 damage in addition. So I'm protecting. So the question here is, if we go with Aria Flame, will our Spreading Seas be countered by, say, I think I'm just gonna go with a Spreading Seas here again. Also gives us a little bit more information about a potential Oblivion Zone. Yep. So now Aria of Flame comes in. Hopefully survives a couple of turns. So that we can indeed kill him. I really have to be careful with the auto yield here as well. So I think seven spells should be good enough to deal 30 damage, right? So if he's going to go for a blast zone with that expedition map, which he of course could do. Sylvan Scrying. Alright. Going with it. Where's this mine here? And of course, this is not a blood moon, like he can still now gain Tron. But thankfully doesn't have any blue mana, green mana to go with the Veil of Summer as well. And as I said, like 7 spells is our threshold here. What we could also do is actually going with the forest. That is not telling at all. Now I'm actually inclined to, well, let's see what he does. Just playing the forest. I strongly assume that this is due to a Veil of Summer being a thing. Therefore, I hope that we are finding a lot of land here. Ceremonious Rejection might also be alright. Must have Tron in hand already, right? Yeah. So here comes the Veil of Summer. What an obnoxious fucking card. Save targets, yeah, for the time being, that's alright. Oh, so strong. Motherfucker. Actually, I'm gonna do different here. I'm gonna go counter and return my Spreading Seas from the forest there. This way we interrupt both Tron again and have a counterspell up as well. So we're going after the tower. Tower of Power. And we have 3 spells already. So that equals to, now we have 4. So if we get these out and Aria Flame on the battlefield, I think we should be good here. Yeah. GG's, friend. And it was 7 indeed. So, nothing that I want to change. Good. Our opponent just kept 7, which is very, very, very unlikely for a Tron player. So this could go horribly wrong, right? Like, if he has a Veil of Summer and Natural Tron, then we're just dead here. Alright, cool. Oh my goodness. You got to be fucking kidding me. We're gonna see how long it lasts. He has to get rid of the Blood Moon at some point. I hope that he just doesn't have a thing as well there. So we do have Remands. Getting down Aria Flame here would of course be good. What's the worst thing that could happen at 5? Fuck. Our opponent here. Insane. Insane. Natural Tron, Veil of Summer, and Nature's Claim, and Nugan. Without having to mulligan. Fuck. That's probably a forest. World Breaker. Oh man. Yeah. No, it's not looking good anymore. But our opponent here so insanely lucky. I mean, we're just drawing cards here. If he does have something really good in hand still, so be it. So I cannot fetch for, well, I can fetch for 3, but then we're pretty dead to a walking ballista. Seven. How can we get rid of this mofo? And by rid, I mean permanently, because, I mean, I don't know. So we have to play the... No, we don't. But then we're dead to whatever he plays in his turn. Guess that's still okay though. So he does have Nature's Claim, but he's not using it here. You can just do it in one turn. So I see. Let's see. Killing the World Breaker doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? Because you can just replay it even this turn. Because Graphic Cage doesn't prevent that. So, but he does have a Nature's Claim in hand anyway, so that also is something that we have to consider. And if we're responding to the Nature's Claim, oh well, never mind. Shit. That certainly wasn't good. I cannot target my opponent's creatures, of course. Alright. Then it doesn't matter anyway. Our opponent, no clue what he might follow this up with. Yeah, we're getting a Nature's Claim, which I guess is alright, because we need to play a Snapcaster anyway. Oh yeah, I targeted my opponent with that. So now we actually don't need to block though. So that was also not great. I should have instead just went with a remount. Have nothing. Good. Blocking sometimes makes a little bit of sense. So while Deprive by itself is pretty good, I'm just going to put it to the bottom. There is another Aria Flame. Oh, we need too many things here. Too many different types of things. I'm just going to counter here. Let's see, maybe we live another turn. So bouncing Wall Breaker just doesn't make any sense. And we cannot... Yeah. So I don't see a way here out of this. Snapcaster could buy us another turn, but this is just yeah, but like we had a pretty good hand to start off with, and our opponent just had an absolutely bonkers hand. But again, could have won the first game if I realized that Keranos is actually, or that we had the necessary devotion. Devotion. But at least we're having really good games here. A lot of fun this league. So we utilized almost all of our cards here. No, actually all of them. We won against Burn. Lost against Dredge and Tron in two very close games. Aria Flame, just an MVP overall. Cardinals could have been MVP if I had played that better. Alright, let's keep that. A lot of late game potential here. And we're playing against Tron. Excuse me. So, a couple of things. First, I'm going to play the snow-covered land here just to try to keep our opponent off of a Ren 6 here. Alright, just a Goif. Bold. Nope. And the Goif's fine for the time being. Oops. Next turn we have Cryptic Commands. This turn we have Archmage's Charm. And we also have bolts to deal with stuff. I don't see how... We could counter this, but how does that help us really? I could also just draw 2 cards. That would be the alternative. But then if he takes Keranos, then a Lightning Bolt is not good anymore against a Tarmogoyf. Which currently it still is. And for Ren 6 to be good here, he both has to have a Ren 6 and a fetch land. Alright. I think I'm actually going to put the Opt on top instead of the Archmage's Charm right now. Because I don't want to lock myself, and we really need to draw a red source. So he also doesn't know that we're playing red as a color. And then Tarmogoyf, of course, becomes the next issue. Maybe it makes even more sense to go after the Goyf here instead of Ren 6. Because we're just growing the Goyf into oblivion. And Ren 6 currently can't do anything. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go with the Goyf here. Counter and return. There's the fetch land. So yeah, now we definitely also need to handle Ren 6. Things just become more and more problematic. I don't mind this though. This gives me time to draw 2 cards with my Archmage's Charm. We're just taking 4. Don't want to put a cryptic on top. I have a couple of good options here. I think I need to get the red sources down. Yeah. Like worst case scenario, he takes up. Like this becomes a 5/5. We're going down to 7. Well, a blood braid would be even worse, but for the time being, I mean. And then we hopefully survive the next turn. Two guys. Wow. That's a little bit of an issue right there. Alright. So we could kill a Goyf, which would grow the other Goyf. Can also kill the Ren 6, but then do nothing and die, basically. Currently there is nothing good in the graveyard of that Ren 6 yet. I think we're first killing Goyf here. So if I'm gonna go with the Mystic Sanctuary, put the Cryptic Command back on top, could bounce the Ren 6 and take 10. That's probably also not a winning proposition here. But we probably need Cryptic. I think we might be able to win against the Ren 6 ulting here through a Keranos. Alright, I was hoping for that to happen. And now, of course, I mean, so tap all creatures, blah blah blah. Return target permanent. No, this. We could also balance the Raging Ravine. Maybe that makes a lot more sense. But no, you can just return it with the Ren 6 if we kill it with a Lightning Bolt. So we have to find another solution for that. It does have a fetch land though, so you can still replay the Ren 6, of course. Aria Flame. Ooh. Alright, so I think the play here is we were taking 10 damage. Ren 6 just kills us. Or do we have the chance of just killing our opponent? Put him down to 7. Nah, there's not a whole lot that we can do here. Unless, of course, we draw a Cryptic Command off of our Archmage's Charm. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go and target him. Alright. So I think I'm just gonna go Snapcaster, try to block the Tarmogoyf, bolt something, and then rely on my Keranos. If he has double bolt, then things, you know, are over anyway. Like double bolt and a removal spell. But many a time, jump lists aren't running. Okay, command. Or discarding a card, sure. So, double bolt. Okay, come on, Keranos. I need you this one time. Just this one time, man. Come on, come on, come on. It's unbelievable. Well, no. Sulfur Force is actually good as well. Boom. Oh man, that was a close one, people. That was a close one. Darn, 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 darn. Alright, so Burst Lightning out. Aria Flame out. I'm gonna get this all good. This one. And I think I want to have a Spreading Seed or two as well. Potentially even more so than like a Deprive. Because we're on the draw. Yeah. Yeah. We're just trying to mana screw our opponent. I think I have to mulligan this. Okay, keeping this. And like, I want to get rid of a lightning bolt here, but let's see. Alright, that's at least not sure. I was gonna say this at least not a discard spell. Because Relic keeps us. Yeah, Ren 6. Cool. Could let it resolve, but I feel like I want to go just remand it. And then I'm keeping my red sources back just in case my opponent brought. Well, not anymore. So I think he has to target for Ren 6 to actually work. And therefore a 0-1 Goth. Correct. I'm trying to find a I'm gonna put that on top. And now if I kill the Goth here, and force him to use the spell bomb. Okay. So we countered everything that our opponent was doing up until this moment. And whilst that scavenging was probably going to be a problem at some point, our opponent also does have a pretty awkward mana base. And is a couple of cards behind, so we just need to find something to deal with these scavengers. Darn. Yeah, he's activating the Raging Ravine here, I assume. Alright, let's just draw a couple of cards. There are a couple of things that actually help us here. So let's start with the Raging Ravine. Now we could also go for mountain there, but I think now I want to go with the Blood Moon. We do have the appropriate mana here. We're taking for a turn, but if he does have like an Assassin's Trophy or something, that things change anyway. And I wanted to have a backup for the Raging Ravine here. Okay. Yes. I like that because it actually slows down our opponent's clock. For a turn at least. And now we're taking him off of black, I assume. So that he can cycle the cooldowns command. Alright. Oh man. So, black. Mystic Sanctuary doesn't help us a whole lot. Are we gonna go after the Scavenging Ooze, or probably have to go after the Ooze, right? The Goyf without any lands in the it shrinks by 1. So 3. Right. And then next turn we can go Magmatic Sinkhole again. He didn't even eat our Automated Charm there. Alright, now we're just getting bolded every turn here. I guess. Sure. Alright, still I liked our game plan. Like, our opponent's hand was pretty strong and we still managed to fight through almost all of it. So that was pretty good. And we're just gonna run it back and see if we can win through game here. Yeah, we're gonna keep a quite similar hand to the one that we had in the first game. Our opponent's on mulligan. Also, if he isn't inquisitioning us turn 1, then we're pretty good in terms of Thoughtseize effects, because like just going for it here, but not Ren 6 apparently. Yeah, I'm just collecting basics here. He can take 2 cards, but he can't take the Keranos. Why would he take the Lightning Bolt? Of course, there is also an argument to keep up the land there, just to be able to then fetch for a Mystic Sanctuary to get back Cryptic, but I think making all land drops here and trying to play the game up until we get Keranos out is the name of the game. The weird... Alright. So I'm gonna discard the Lightning Bolt, I assume. Gonna have a look at what he actually does there. Could also go with the Spell Snare, but I think that's better. So, we could slam here, Keranos. Yeah, I think that's good. After all. Should not be possible for him to get rid of the Keranos. Okay. He hasn't played a land yet, therefore probably have to wait here. Like between Liliana Snapcaster or Lightning Bolt would be great. That's also acceptable. Alright, this time around, if we actually get our Keranos active, I'll be there. Tron here, certainly not perfect. What's more important to him, green or black? I guess black due to nil spellbomb, but green in general. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go after the green source. And this is 4, we just need 3 more. And this way, of course, if we find our last cryptic here, we could just bounce the thing. But we don't have too many cards anymore that can actually get rid of. And it's a 3-turn clock as well. Okay. Alright, I think that was a Bloodbraid Elf or something like that. Can I actually respond to the trigger? So if we, yeah, I think I need to target the glyph here. Come on, give me a lightning bolt. Oh my goodness, come on. Oh, fuck yes. Fuck yes. So I'm playing around the Veil of Summer here. I don't think that it makes a difference, but I'm just gonna bounce it before he can find a level. Anything, basically. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Snapcaster Mage this time around actually activates the Keranos. So we're probably gonna do that, right? Oh, a lightning bolt. Oh, a lightning bolt. Yeah, this will still maintain the chance of counter draw. Alright, winning it in big brain fashion with an active Keranos. My goodness, is that amazing. My goodness, is that amazing. Alright, made a couple of mistakes. But overall, I think it was a pretty raid league. Just from an entertainment point of view. We won with Keranos in the end of the game. 3 there. The sideboard I was pretty happy with, definitely with the Spreading Seas. Relics were also important. Spellskies could probably be in different card, but also did their job the 2 times or something that we played them. Yeah, and overall, I hope you enjoyed. Probably needed a couple more cards against John in general. Spellskies could potentially also be like a thing in the eyes or whatever. But overall, pretty great. And now, the next game, we're probably going back to Rix's. So, I wish you a wonderful weekend and a wonderful week, and see you around, guys.